Hello, welcome to the Evolving Self channel. Today we're going to talk about the full moon in Libra. It's happening on April 2nd at 12 degrees. This full moon is about relationships, it's about balance. Whatever you have in your life that you need to balance, or if there's any relationship or one on one partnership that you need to renegotiate, rebalance, or let go. The sun will be in Aries at 12 degrees and the moon will be in Libra, opposite sign, at 12 degrees. So, whatever you have in your chart at 12 degrees will be impacted. What does that mean? Any planet in this sign at 12 degrees will be aspecting this full moon in Libra. Depending on which house this sign is in your chart, this area in your life will be impacted. So, this full moon is really important because it's talking to something very essential in our lives. It's our relationships, it's our partnerships. Some relationships will take a different route, meaning there will be more commitments or there will be more closures. Whatever is not serving you in your life will go. And whatever is there for you on your path will start to take a different shape, which is commitments. There will also be another aspect, which is renegotiations. You could be renegotiating some relationships in your life at this time. Now, this full moon is happening on April 2nd, but the actual energy will start 2 days before and will extend up to 2 days after. For some people, it could be more than that, but for the majority of us, this is where we're going to feel the energy of this full moon. So, this moon is in Libra. Libra is about the balance. How are you balancing your relationships one on one? How you're seeing yourself with respect to the other, whether it's a business relationship, romantic relationship, or any one on one relationship with anybody in your life. You need to be looking out for yourself and doing a fair balance for both yourself and the other. So, this is a great opportunity to resolve all conflicts, to let go of any patterns in your life that no longer serve you in how you interact with the other. It's also a great time to establish boundaries. This full moon will be squaring Jupiter in Cancer, and the square meaning tension or challenge. What does it mean? This energy means you might be overextending yourself or overpromising to anything that feels heavy for you or anything you feel that you won't be able to commit to. So be careful. Do not overextend yourself or overpromise anything that seems does not serve you personally. Also, Jupiter extends what it touches. So when it touches this full moon, any few arguments might feel like it's a crisis. So let it go. Do not give your energy out to any arguments because it will pass. Before you say yes to anything, make sure that you have looked at all the scales of the situation and you have balanced it with respect to your own benefit and the other person. The ruler of this full moon is Venus, and Venus is the ruler of Taurus and Libra. So, this full moon, Venus will be entering Taurus. It will happen on March 31st. And when it enters its home, which is Taurus and Libra, it feels very cozy and secure. So, what does it mean? It means that it's moving out of Aries. And for the past few weeks, Venus has been in Aries, where it felt a little bit of selfish, not very comfortable, not very cozy, because Aries is opposite to Libra, and which means that it falls in Aries. Now it's going back to one of its homes, which is Taurus. It should feel comfortable, cozy, loving everything around it. Also, Taurus is about our money. So, in this full moon, since Venus is highlighted as the ruler of the full moon, we will be looking out for ourselves in our relationships with respect to our security and safety and also our money. So you will need to look out for what does it mean for your self-worth? What does it mean that I have to be looking out for myself and I have to be feeling comfortable where I am right now? These are the questions that you will be asking yourself during this full moon. However, Venus will be squaring Pluto, and this is actually a little bit of intense feeling in this full moon. So looking out for yourself will be coming out of a little bit of fear, of an anxiety, of do I have enough? Am I on the right path? Should I do this? Should I not do that? Should I be in this commitment? Should I not be? Should I continue on long term with my plans with respect to my finances? These are all the questions that you will be asking yourself during this full moon. So while you're doing your planning, while you're looking out for yourself, you will need to feel safe and protected. Any fear not coming out of love feelings will need to let go. So if you feel a little bit anxious or any kind of information comes to your perspective that makes you feel uncomfortable, you will need to sit down with yourself and look and see, why do you feel those feelings? Where are they coming from? What is the origin? And you will need to let go of these feelings. It's there for a reason, because there are still some aspects or issues or patterns or whatever things in your life that you have not solved yet or you did not resolve yet. And this is the reason this aspect is coming up. If you didn't feel any of those feelings, it means you have already resolved, you have healed, you have overcome those challenges, and you're not going to feel it. But if you do, it means it is taking your attention to somewhere that you need to find some closures, you need to find some safety, and you need to be sure that you are on the right path. This also means any attachments that are not healthy to any patterns, resources, or people in your life. These are the areas where you will need to let go and say, okay, I'm done with that. I'm closing those patterns. I'm letting go of these people from my life with peace because they no longer serve my long-term plan. This full moon could also bring some intense feelings such as jealousy, betrayals, any kind of feelings that are not comfortable. But be careful and remember, these are coming for you, not against you. If anything you need to see at this time, you will see it. If nothing serves you on the long term, you will need to let it go. So even if these feelings are intense in the time being, it's helping you and serving you on the long term. If there are any shared resources that you will need to settle, you will need to replan, you will need to put a new commitment or a new partnership contract between you and the other person, this is the time that these renegotiations or closures will come up. You're actually letting go of what no longer serves you to make a room for something new to come. Now, I'm going to go through each of the rising signs where in your life this new moon will take place. So listen to the rising sign, but if you need to listen to the sun sign or moon sign, please do, but be mindful that this is for only intuitive guidance. For Aries rising, this full moon is happening in your seventh house, the house of partnerships. So you are seeing yourself from a scale of where am I and where is the other person? Where do my relationship begins and ends, and where does see myself in this relationship? So if I look at that chart at this time, I see that Pluto will be in your 11th house, and 11th house is the house of your long-term plans. It's also the house of your social connections. Now, having Venus in your second house, which is house of your resources and your money, squaring Pluto in this full moon, it means that you are looking for your long-term plans and how you see yourself with respect to your resources. Are you on the right path? Do you need to do any replanning? And these are all the aspects that's coming during this time with respect in how you see yourself in relationships and the other. Now, if I look at the fourth house, which is Jupiter, is there in Cancer. Jupiter is actually squaring the full moon during this time. So, what does it mean? You are looking at yourself, where you live, your home. Could be also your investments if you have any properties and investments, because Cancer is home and it's in the fourth house. So, you are replanning. You are seeing it from the sense of, am I safe? Do I have enough for my long term, or do I need to make any readjustments and any replanning? Now, it also could mean that it means that it's impacting your family life. Where are you seeing yourself from your family life? If there is any family patterns or situations that is not serving you or that needs to be resolved or need to be replanned, you will need to speak up, but speak up out of love, not out of fear, because you could be balancing the scales during this full moon. I wish you a very happy full moon and let me know how it goes. For Taurus rising, this full moon is happening in your sixth house. And this sixth house is about your daily activities, it's about your colleagues, it's about your health. So you're seeing yourself from if there's any hidden patterns, emotional patterns that you have not solved before. This is the time that will come that you will need to address any deep fears or anything that has to do with how you see yourself in your day to day life. Now, I look at Pluto in your 10th house in Aquarius, and this Pluto is actually squaring your Venus in the first house. So you're looking at yourself. Am I on the right career that serves my daily activities, that fulfills me, and that is good for my health? Or do I need to change anything in my day to day activities to maintain a healthy life and to maintain a healthy patterns every day? Any changes that's happening in your career or your social life, if you are retired, whatever you're doing with respect to your status on a day to day basis, this is where you will be addressing your energy during this time. So, if you feel any fear, any anxiety, any uncomfortable feelings coming during this full moon, it means that you need to pay attention to your career, your profession, relative to what you do on a day to day basis. Now, if I look at Jupiter that's squaring the full moon, Jupiter is in your third house. So, you might be coming across some conversations or some uncomfortable reactions with the people around you, and these people are your local immediate environment. So be careful of what you say. And if any of the fearful or anxious thoughts comes to your mind, if you have any conversations during this time, just release it, let it go. Look at it and see what is the origin and the source of those fears coming from those conversations, because it could be attracting, taking you somewhere where you need to address any unhealthy emotional patterns. You are also going through a lot of changes with respect to how you look at yourself with the self worth and your money. And these changes could reflect your appearance or how you show up to people because you have Uranus in the first house. So, this full moon will bring up some of the unhealthy patterns that you will need to let go because you will make space for something new to come. And it could be a new profession, a new status, or something that will change and transform your life to the better. So let me know how it goes. For Gemini rising, this full moon is happening in your fifth house, and this is the house of creativity. Any creative projects, any sense of self expression. It's also part of creativity, is part of your kids. So if you have kids, this full moon will be impacting those areas. But what does it mean? You are looking at the scales with respect. Are you expressing yourself? Is there anything relative to your kids' lives or finances or anything that you need to overextend yourself to make sure that you are giving what you need to give to your kids? So this is impacting your balances. Like, you need to look at yourself from the respect is, am I being fulfilled while I'm giving all this, extending myself financially, mentally, physically? Everything that you need to give to your kids need to be balanced with yourself as well. So you need to look out for yourself. Now, I look at that and I see that Pluto is in your ninth house. And Pluto right now is squaring Venus. So there is some hidden feelings of unsafe or unsecured, or you need to show up for your kids and for yourself at this time. Again, if you don't have kids, it's your creative projects. So there is an overextending of some sort of financials. It's not really burdens, but I would say it's financials energy that's taking from you. It could be relative to any creative projects in your life. So you need to look at the fears, the hidden fears that you have, whatever planning you need to do for yourself and for your loved ones and for your kids. Now, I look at the second house, which is the house of your resources, and Jupiter is there, actually confirming everything we talked about. There are some overextending yourself that you need to look out and manage and balance with respect to your own self-worth and with respect to your commitments to your projects, your creative projects, including whatever you need to do for your kids. So happy full moon, and let me know how it goes. For Cancer rising, this full moon is happening in your fourth house. So this is a very critical house because it's one of the angles. So we've got the first, the seventh, the fourth, and the 10th as angles. Now, this full moon will be impacting your family life or how you see yourself in your home or your properties and investments if you have any of them. You are balancing the scales right now. And having Pluto in your eighth house actually talks about your investments and your shared investments as well. There is a transformation you are going through. And in this full moon, these emotions will come up and you will see yourself looking at the long term plans. But there might be some fear thoughts or feelings coming up, and this is where you need to clear, let go, and think, how can I make my long-term plans, even if I have to change the way I had original plans for these long-term goals and plans. It also could impact your social life and connections. So there could be some changes happening there, but the changes are having this challenging feelings. It's like you are feeling intense feeling with regards to these planning and social connections as well. Now, if I look at Jupiter, which is in your first house, and Jupiter in your first house is squaring the moon, the full moon during this time. So, where do you need to balance the scale? Where are you overextending yourself to show up according to how people expect from you? But it's on the account of having your fulfilled life and fulfilled emotional life. So, let me know how it goes, and I wish you a very happy full moon. For Leo rising, this full moon is happening in your third house, and this house is the house of communications, the house of your local environment, and the house of how you interact with all your communication skills, intellectual, everything that has to do with how you communicate with others. So when I look at this full moon, I see that you have Pluto in your seventh house, and Pluto in your seventh house is actually transforming your relationships or your one-on-one partnerships. And this full moon will have the Pluto squaring Venus in your 10th house. So, are you showing up for yourself with respect to your status, your work? With respect, are you looking out for yourself in relationships, in how you want to show up, in what you want to create in your career? Is your relationships impacting your long term plans and your status and what you want to have on a professional level? These are all questions you will need to ask yourself and address during this full moon. Now, having Jupiter in your 12th house squaring the third house, which is the house where full moon is happening, it means there are some hidden fears that you have, or thoughts, or patterns that you haven't looked at yet. And having this full moon, there might be some intelligence, communications, conversations, or anything coming to your attention that you will need to let go of all these fears and patterns that you have been holding on to. So it's actually going to be a light for you. It's kind of like lighting the areas where you need to clear. So let me know how it goes, and I wish you a very happy full moon. For Virgo rising, this full moon is happening in your second house. And your second house is the house of resources, the house of your self worth, and your house of your own income. So this full moon is happening where you need to balance. Where are you overextending yourself with respect to the others? And the others, which is the eighth house here, could be your shared resources, your shared commitments, has to do with finances, could be your clients, it could be your spouse, it could be any one-on-one relationships there. So when I look at this full moon, I see that you have Pluto in the sixth house. And Pluto in the sixth house is about your daily activities, and it's also about your health. Where are you overextending yourself with respect to your health because you want to meet certain commitments and you want to create certain income? Now, when I look at that and I see Pluto is squaring Venus in the ninth house, you are actually looking out for extending yourself with respect to spirituality, to travel, creating something that feels like home to you when it comes to your day to day activities. This energy creates challenges and tension for you because you are trying to balance your day to day activities with what you want to create on the long term. Having Jupiter in the 11th house, it's your goals, it's your social networks that is squaring the full moon. So you are trying to balance how you're showing up for others and your connections with respect to how you see yourself and your self worth and your money. So I wish you a very happy full moon and let me know how it goes. For Libra rising, this full moon is happening in your first house, and it's the first house of yourself, your appearance, how you show up, how other people see you. And you're trying to balance your one-on-one relationships with how you show up for yourself. When I see that you have Pluto in your fifth house, which is the house of your creativity, so whatever creative projects you are trying to create is right now in conflict with how you show up with your partnerships, for your clients, for your shared resources with anyone in your life. You're looking out for yourself, but it's coming out of fear of not having enough to create with respect to the other obstacles or other commitments or other challenges that you have with other people. When I look at Jupiter in your 10th house, what you are trying to create from a career, profession, and status perspective is actually challenged by this full moon because you need to show up in your social life with respect to how you show up for yourself, and it's creating attention. Are you overextending yourself in your public life? Are you over giving in your career and profession? But it's on your personal account. So let me know how it goes, and I wish you a very happy full moon. For Scorpio rising, this full moon is happening in your 12th house, and the 12th house is the house of the hidden emotional, hidden dilemma, or hidden thoughts, or hidden patterns, or something that only you know about, nobody else knows about. It's also the house of sacrificing. Are you over giving for others in your day-to-day activities? Are you showing up for others more than you show up for yourself? It's impacting you, but you're not telling anybody about it. Now, when I look at Pluto in your 4th house, and Pluto in your 4th house is changing your home life, your family patterns, how you show up for yourself. Are you moving? Are you thinking of moving? Or are you not happy where you live and you want to make changes? Are you redecorating? Are you remodeling? There is something going on in your home life or actual physical home that you live. But these changes are happening for you, not to you. And this full moon, it will bring out how you're showing up for yourself with respect to the relationship with your spouses or your partnerships or your business partner. You might feel, if you have any of those partnerships, that you're not being fulfilled in one of those areas, and you need to show up for yourself, and you need to bring out all these hidden thoughts and patterns and feelings that you're hiding from the others, keeping it to yourself, but bringing it out with love perspective, not with fear, not with anger, not with frustration. No, bring it out with, I need to show up for myself, and this is what I need, and come from a love perspective. Now, when I look at Jupiter in your 9th house that's squaring the full moon, you are actually thinking of extending yourself, and extending yourself with respect, you could be thinking of traveling, changing countries, changing places, changing homes, or you could actually be physically or mentally or even spiritually traveling. So when I look at that, I think you will have a great time during this full moon. Sit in meditation, bring out all the hidden fears, everything that you have been hiding inside you need to come out and need to clear and need to let go, because new patterns are coming in. Whatever doesn't serve you, need to leave now. So let me know how it goes, and happy full moon. For Sagittarius Rising, this full moon is happening in your 11th house, the house of connections, of social networks, of your friends, of your long-term goals. And in this full moon, you will need to balance the scales between how you're creating for your own self and how you're showing up for your friends and your social networks. When I look at Pluto in your 3rd house, there could be a lot of transformation and changes happening in how you communicate with others or your local network, local immediate environment. Now, I look at that, and you're changing a lot with day to day activities because Venus is in your 6th house, and it's impacting your communications. Are you showing up for yourself, or do you feel that you're not fulfilled in how you communicate or how you relate to the other people in your life, the immediate local environment that you have? So some conversations could come up during this full moon that might not be very comfortable for you, but it needs to come up because you need to let go and clear any hidden feelings that you have been carrying on that needs to come out and let go. Now, having Jupiter in your 8th house that is squaring this full moon, you are looking at your resources and your shared resources and your investments. Are you fulfilled in these areas? You're thinking, do I have enough on the long-term goals, or do I need to replan and redo? And could be that your day-to-day in activities that's being impacted in this full moon will need to be replanned and rebalanced. You will need to create a very balanced routine or daily activities that serve your long-term goals and serve your resources and investments and finances as well. So let me know how it goes, and a happy full moon. For Capricorn Rising, this full moon is happening in your 10th house, the house of career, of profession, and status. When I look at this chart, it looks like you are balancing how you're showing up at home with your family and your needs at your career and profession and status, and how you want to create in these areas. Now, having Pluto in your 2nd house, your resources and income, and your personal values is greatly impacted during this full moon. You are looking out for yourself. Are you doing creative projects? Are you showing up for your kids? Are you building finances that serves you for you and your loved ones? And these are the questions that will come up during this full moon. So your career and your kids and your resources are all in highlighted during this full moon. Also your relationships, because when I look at the seventh house, you've got Jupiter there and it's actually squaring this full moon. So which means that if there's any conflict between what you need to extend yourself in relationships relative to how you need to show up at work and your career, there could be some conflicts and tensions that you will need to attend to. So you will need to balance yourself. Are you balancing yourself with respect to your relationship, your home life, and your career? All these questions and all these areas will be highlighted in the full moon. So happy full moon and let me know how it goes. For Aquarius rising, this full moon is happening in your ninth house. And your ninth house is the house of higher education, spirituality, actual travel, or spiritual or mental travel, which means that you could be thinking of where do I need to go? What do I need to extend myself? If you're thinking of creating a presence online or that could be reached to anybody in the world, this is the right time that you will need to replan and rebalance that. And why do I say rebalance? Because you might be thinking that your communications, because you have got Chiron in the third house, your communications or your local network is not helping you. Your local environment is not helping you to create the dream, the bigger vision that you have. So having Pluto in your first house, it means that you are going through a lot of transformation on the personal self. You are changing. You're changing how you look and you're changing how you show up. Your personality is changing. And it's going to take a very long time because Pluto is going to be there for another 20 years. So when I look at that and I see that you are not being very comfortable where you live, there is a square between Pluto and Venus, which is the first house and fourth house. You're not comfortable where you live, how you're showing up for your family, your home, your immediate environment, and how you relate to what you call home. Now, when I see that, it means there will be some changes that will take place, but it will take time. Right now, you're just thinking about what do I need to do to feel safe? And I see that you've got Jupiter in the sixth house. There's a lot that you need to do on a daily basis. You also need to be attending to your health because Jupiter in sixth house is about any issues in health could come out and that needs attention. It's actually not a bad thing because if you need to attend to your health in a certain area, it's great to know where is this, what do you need to do and attend to it. Now, having Jupiter in your sixth house squaring the moon, this full moon means that are you overextending yourself on your day-to-day basis? Are you pushing yourself too much to show up for others on a daily basis? This is where you need to let go of any overburden of anything that you don't need on a daily basis to take care of your health and to take care of your resources as well. Because when you have a good health, you'll be able to show up for yourself and create resources. So let me know how it goes and a happy full moon. For our lovely Pisces rising, this full moon is happening in your eighth house. This is the house of shared resources. This is the house of your investments. This is the house of transformation as well. So you are balancing the scales between what do you share with others and what do you share for yourself or what you have for yourself. So you are looking at your personal resources, your personal value, and whatever shared resources you have with other people. It could be with clients, it could be with a spouse or partnerships. Now, when I look at Pluto in your 12th house, there are some hidden patterns and hidden fears that you did not let go of yet. And this full moon will highlight those patterns. It will come up during your conversations, during your communication. Some intelligence could come up to you, and it means that you need to attend to something that you've been ignoring or hiding because you don't want to face it yet. But this full moon will bring it out. Now, be careful of your communication because your intense feelings inside could reveal some stuff that could impact your relationships and communication. So be careful of the words you say. Now, when I look at Jupiter in your fifth house, that's squaring the full moon. So you are attending to how are you over giving to your creative projects? And these creative projects include your kids. Are you over giving financially? Are you putting too much burdens on yourself to show up for your kids? It's a great thing to do, but you need to be looking out for your personal investments and your shared resources as well. Because on the long term, you want to make sure that you balance all the scales, yourself, your spouses, and your kids. So happy full moon and let me know how it goes.